Let's just be real here. Lewis Hamilton is probably the greatest driver to ever set foot on a track in Formula One history. A 7-time world champion tied with the likes of Michael Schumacher, this Briton has had the highest number of race wins and podiums in the sport's history. And I mean, with a profile like that, you better believe he's making a ton of money. So keep watching as we talk more about how Lewis Hamilton spends his millions. It's not a surprise that the man with a net worth of over $285 million has a lot of houses that he likes to spend his time in. From New York to London to Monte Carlo and even in Geneva. He's got quite a house portfolio, I dare do say. So let's talk about it. Without a doubt, the 7-time world champion has a little affinity toward America, especially towards the Big Apple. From what we know, the 37-year-old has owned at least 2 properties in the city, one of which was sold for almost $49.5 million. Hamilton bought this triplex penthouse back in 2017 for about $43.9 million. The giant complex is located in Tribeca on 443 Greenwich Street and has become pretty popular with some big names in the past. The massive 12,000 square foot building is and has been home to the likes of The Weeknd, Justin Timberlake, Jessica Biel, Harry Styles, Jake Gyllenhaal, and more. Lewis's 89,000 square foot 3-unit penthouse H-suite comes with 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and 2 half baths inside, while the outside boasts a 3,426 square feet of space for a rooftop plunge pool, a whole kitchen, 2 parking spaces, and multiple terraces with gorgeous views of downtown Manhattan. But even with all of that, there are still reports that Mr. Hamilton has never even stayed in the penthouse, which is just shocking. Now, the Mercedes driver might have decided not to stay in 443 Greenwich, but that doesn't mean he's completely abandoned Tribeca or Manhattan itself. Definitely not. See, because he also owns another penthouse in Tribeca, just a few blocks away on 70 Vestry. He's got this unit in the building for about $40.7 million back in late 2018 to 19. Yeah, this 65,000 square foot property comes with a massive outdoor area, a swimming pool, a whole fitness center, a squash court, a library, an amazing view of the Hudson River, and even a wine cellar for when he likes to get crunk. Whew, he's really living like a king. Going back to his home country, the Briton did not cheap out at all when buying a house for himself back over there. In 2017, the world champion managed to snap up a pretty unique villa in the West London for £18 million. The villa was previously owned by Christopher Bailey and his husband and actor Simon Woods, who originally priced the property at £19.85 million. So Lewis was able to knock about $2 million off the original price. That's pretty good. The property is uniquely located and comes with 6 bedrooms, 4 reception rooms, and 2 gigante bathrooms. That's giant. The villa was built back in 1860 by the renowned builder Samuel Johns and opens outward to give a look at the gorgeous 200-feet garden outside that comes with the summer house. Although Hamilton's property in Monte Carlo is the place he likes to call home, like many other drivers on the circuit, somehow not much detail is known about this place. Even though Hamilton likes to keep his secrets, we still have some idea about where he lives in the region. Reports have suggested that Hamilton lives in one of the most exclusive districts of Monaco, the Fontvieille district. In 2007, there were reports of him being interested in a 2,000 square foot home duplex with sweeping views of the Mediterranean in the district's seaside plaza, where a top-floor apartment would have set him back a cool £30 million, which obviously ain't bad at all if you're Lewis Hamilton. We don't think it's news to literally anybody that Lewis Hamilton is a massive motorhead. I mean, he drives for a living. It would be pretty bizarre to find out that he wasn't into cars. Well, thankfully, this ain't true at all, and we've got Lewis's gigantic car collection to prove it. With a luxury collection estimated to be worth over $17 million or 13 million pounds, Lewis Hamilton's got some big names in his garage. So let's start off with his Mercedes collection. Hamilton's love for the German brand ain't just on the track, oh no baby. The Briton can often be seen driving one of his Mercedes cars even when he's off the grid. He's known to have in his garage a Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 6X6, with reports of him being on the list getting the new Mercedes AMG 1, a project that he himself was involved in. That's coming out this year and is set to be worth about $2.72 million. Not only that, but he is also the proud owner of 2 Mercedes Maybachs, a Maybach 6, an S600, a black SLX, and a Mercedes AMG GTR too. Don't get the wrong idea, this world champion doesn't just go for Mercedes though. He owns a bunch of luxury vehicles from other reputable manufacturers. Case in point, one of his most expensive car purchases was of the 1966 Shelby 427 Cobra, thought to be worth about £4 million. That one he keeps in his garage in LA. Besides that, the Briton also owns a Pagani Zonda 760LH, worth about $2.2 million. That one's been customized with a purple exterior and an interior just for him. He also drives the Ferrari supercars in the form of his Ferrari LaFerrari and his open-top version of the LaFerrari Aperta, worth about $1.4 million and $2.2 million in that order, with a top speed of 217 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in like 2.5 seconds. On top of that, he also has his McLaren P1 worth about $1.15 million, with the car being able to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.7 seconds, courtesy of the 903 horsepower engine inside. Another piece of vintage engineering that he has in his collection is the 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, which is known to have gone for about £750,000 in some auctions. We don't know how much Lewis got for it, but I mean, like everything in his collection, it ain't cheap. It's no wonder that when you're the best driver on the grid, you attract a lot of big brands and organizations who want to sponsor you and make you want to sell their products. And that becomes even more true when you're someone like Lewis Hamilton. Along with his partnership with Mercedes, he's known to have deals with the likes of Tommy Hilfiger, Puma, Sony, Vodafone USD, Bose, Bell Hemmet, Monster Energy, IWC, MV Agusta Motorcycles, and more. Whew, these lists are hard to do in one breath. Staying true to his identity as an F1 driver, the Briton is also the ambassador of the very popular racing game, Gran Turismo Sport. All of this contributes to him making about $20 million more than his closest rival, Red Bull's Max Verstappen. And it makes him the 8th highest paid athlete in the world, according to Forbes. This is just ridiculous, man. But Lewis's partnerships with big businesses don't really end there. The superstar of racing also just launched his own clothing line, partnering with his sponsor, Tommy Hilfiger. Just based on some of his appearances on the track, you can tell that Lewis is a bit of a diva and a fashion icon, so it's really not surprising to find out that he's also partnered with giant fashion brands like Tommy Hilfiger. Besides that, Hamilton is also a huge advocate for going meat-free and being a vegan himself. He's made investments in a plant-based burger joint by the name of Neat Burgers. Most recently, the champ also chipped in an undisclosed amount in the $200 million investment for a grocery delivery startup named Zap. The Briton launched his own charity organization and foundation called Mission 44 just last year with the aims of uplifting the conditions of the marginalized and underprivileged communities in the UK. He pledged $30 million to his own organization and partnered with Mercedes for the Ignite initiative, whose goal is to ensure better representation for the diverse students in STEM fields. Lewis has always been super vocal about human rights abuses and racism, even more so after the whole BLM movement in 2020. He's been outspoken in raising his voice for equality in the black community. He's worked on the Hamilton Commission Research Initiative, which is aimed to better understand and work towards improving the representation of black people in engineering and motorsports. His organization entered a 2-year partnership with Sky as part of a £30 million commitment towards tackling systemic racism and schooling system in the UK, where there has been a disproportionately high number of students who have been excluded from the education that they deserve. Not only that, he and his Mission 44 have partnered with Teach First to help recruit 150 black STEM teachers in the country to work with students in disadvantaged communities to make them feel more represented and comfortable in STEM fields. It's really heartwarming to see a big shot like Hamilton empathize with the marginalized and do everything he can to make their lives better, and we all love him for that. So that's a wrap for today's video. What do you guys think about Lewis Hamilton's millionaire lifestyle? How would you guys blow this kind of money? Let's start a discussion in the comment section below. And if you like what you saw, please hit the button that says you did, and maybe subscribe so you never miss out on any of our cool videos. See you in the next one. Later, guys.